Okay, this is a video. I'm going to show you how to set up your 20 meters by 20 meters plots to do a tree census in McDonald Forest. So first of all though, this is a beautiful example of an old growth grand fir tree, and see someone studying it. It's got flagging around it, and it's got, it's got fissured bark, but it's sort of, it has a sort of smoother look to it than an oak fir. The fissures are finer, they'll just generally look smoother, whereas over here, we have right next to it, we have a Douglas fir tree. And you can see there that the bark looks really quite different. It's really deeply fissured. And you need to know that, because I need you to separate Douglas fir trees from grand fir trees, and then I also need you to separate those from deciduous trees such as alders and big leaf maples. But anyway, I'll put some instruction leaflet, something in the notes to tell you how to do that. So now we want to lay out our plot. How are we going to do it? We're going to use the baseline that I set up, and you'll be generating your starting point. So the baseline has these blue pin flags every 5 meters, and it has a distance, which is the distance in meters from the start to the north. So there'll be 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, you get the picture, and you will know where you're going to start, because one of the things about doing this kind of research is if you want to generalize over an area, you need to do random sampling. So you are going to generate a random point just using a random number table. And the lab instructions will tell you how to do that. So let's assume that your random point was 120, and that's 120 meters flag. So this is one corner of your plot, and then it'll go upwards. So the other corner will be 140 meters, which is 3 flags that way. So you have already one side of your square. You're going to make a 20 by 20 meter square, and then in a separate video I'll show you how to measure and record the trees within it. So first of all, you could decide how you're going to find your line. It's not going, doesn't need to be too accurate, but one way is to use your cell phone. If you have a cell phone and you have a compass on the cell phone, then you can find the bearing, and you could spot something that's on the line you're going to create. So anyway, we measured the bearing along the baseline, and it's looking northwards, it's 355 degrees, looking southwards, it's 185 degrees. So looking to the east, uphill, your plot has to be uphill, remember, the bearing is 275 degrees. So that's one way you can figure out 275 degrees. But if you can't do that, then just guess. Humans are very, very good at lining up pin flags. We can do that very exactly. And we're also pretty good at figuring out where a right angle is. You know, if we stand with the, where you can see the line of flags, stand like that, and then just look straight ahead, that is pretty close to a right angle. And so, looking up there, I can see where my line's going to go. And what I'll do is I'll start using my red flags. So I can see a point there that I'm pretty sure is, at least if it's not exactly right angles, it's close. So I'm going to use that and measure a 20 meter line. So I'm actually not going to do this, but what I would normally run up there and put the flag in so I could see where I'm going. But I'm just going to measure my line, because if I went up there you wouldn't be able to hear me anymore. So this is my tape, so I'm going to be able to do 15 of the 20 meters just using this tape, and I'm going to need to anchor it somehow. So if you have something you can stick in the ground, fine. Otherwise, find a piece of stick and stick it in right next to this flag. Another way you can do it is with pin flags. So here, I've got a bunch of pin flags. See, I can just stick those in there, and it'll stay in place. I'm going to angle them away in the direction I'm going. And that, I think that'll stay there. So I can now run out the tape. That's spores making me cough, not the coronaviruses. We don't have any out here. So here we go. I'm going up here straight towards the point I've identified as being the right direction. And I'm going to put a pin flag in every 5 meters. So I'm going to do, that's 0 is already there. I'm going to do 5, 10, 15, 20. Having done that, I'm going to come back to the baseline. Go up to the next point. That was, what I said, that was 100 and, anyway, 20 meters that way. And now I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to have 2 20-meter lines going eastwards. And having done that, I'll create a straight line between the 2 ends. And probably it's not going to be exactly 20 meters, that doesn't matter. As long as you're, if it's only 10 meters, well, you're way off. Do it over. But, if it's, say, 18 meters when it's supposed to, or 19 when it's supposed to be 20, we'll just have to live with that. If we were doing a real research project, we try and get it exact. So I see 5 meters right here, and this is where I'm going, so there's my flag. That's 5, then I'm going to continue up there, 10, 15 and 20. Come back, go up there, 20 meters, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then go across the top. At this point I have a square, that's 20 by 20 meters, or almost square anyway. And I am going to measure all the trees with a circumference equal or greater than 30 centimeters within that area. And I'm going to record those on the data sheet. That is my tree sample. And I'll show you how to do that in another video. So at this point, we're going to come back probably and do another week's lab. So you could leave one of your flags in place, or you can just take all the flags out. Maybe that's better. Just take them all out when you're done with the plot. I'm going to try and post the third week's exercise online before you come out here, in which case if you want to do the tree measurements and then the understory measurements, you could do the whole lot at once. But basically that's 2 labs worth of data. So you can either do it all at once, assuming the notes are all the way posted, or do it in 2 separate visits. Your choice. One way or another, you just need to collect the data. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should tell you about the plot. Just record your data, bring it home, enter it in Excel. And if you're not in Corvallis, then we're going to have to set this up somewhere else in a different forest without a baseline. So if you're in that situation, be sure to contact me or Ian, and we'll try and help you set something up. So that's all you need to know there. And be sure to check out the zombie thing at the stump I was showing you at the other end. You'll see that at the start of the measurements video.